There are a lot of sinister things that are happening, a lot that we don't know yet. Only revelations like these through video recordings that gets to give us that small insight into some of these things that are happening. A lot of dark things are happening in this world. Hello guys, welcome to Epic Tube Moments. My name is Fred and I'm your usual anchor here on this channel. So today, without further ado, we'll actually be going straight to discuss this young man, Mr. Baltasar Ebang. This man has been accused, allegedly, right now still, still allegedly. We have a lot of videos, but by law, allegedly, probably is AI generated, so allegedly. This man, allegedly, has been accused of sleeping with over 400 women. No, see, this is serious, mate. This is very, very serious. And he actually looks very handsome, and he looks like someone who has charm. You know, he looks like someone that a lot of ladies will find very hard to say no to, regardless of his position, regardless of the amount of power he wields, the amount of authority. He has a lot of money. His dad is a very wealthy man. So you can understand where the trend actually started. He's the director of a financial agency in Equatorial Guinea. But lately, there was an investigation that actually led to his house being ransacked, and a lot of things were found. So this young man had a lot of videos of sexual escapades that he has with a lot of women. We're going to go into that gradually. And see, some of those things he actually did is none of our concerns, but we will be talking about the areas that actually concern us or that should concern us. So Mr. Baltasar Ebang was found with over 400 videotapes of his sexual escapades with women who happen to be, friends, relatives, co-workers, colleagues, and all of that. And this has generated a lot of discussion from Africa and abroad. A lot of people in diaspora have actually been discussing this. Just by hearing this, it actually hits you differently. But let us look at how we have gotten to this point. Can we just go through the trend? Because a lot of people will actually be, screaming in their houses, shouting and acting like they don't know all of these things happen. It's only when you get caught, it's only when videos like this come out that we have discussions. We tend to have discussions like this. But before we get to this point, nobody tends to care. I've made a lot of videos in the past where I talk about a lot of corruption back home in African countries. A lot of, people wield too much power. People have so much authority. They can do and undo. So if you look at all of these women, I get to hear a lot of people say, this man possibly might have been, using these women through the power of voodoo. Probably he just jazzed all these women. Why would they allow all of those sex scenes to be video recorded? A lot of people have different opinions to what just happened, and they have it, and they've just been saying a lot. So this has happened, and that's not the point I'm actually trying to make here. The point I'm trying to make here is, when did all these things start? In Africa, we tend to ignore when some of these things start. In Western world, when something starts, it's snipped immediately. Even if they don't get it right, try as much as possible to cut it off. See, there are a lot of anomalies in Africa as a result of carelessness, as a result of negligence. So Mr. Baltasar Ebang did some things that I just want to look through. Let us just look at these things critically, okay? For the longest, we've always been hearing that men are very promiscuous. And just lately, people now tend to counter those arguments and say men are not just promiscuous, or men are not only promiscuous, that women are more promiscuous than men. Just these days, just in the last 1 or 2 years, that we tend to start hearing that narrative coming out very often. That if you think men are promiscuous, women are more promiscuous than men, it's just that they've not been caught yet. It's just that women they are better at hiding it. You get to hear that all the time. What this man has done for the longest has always been the trend of men. Men are very promiscuous. A lot of people say that. Men can sleep with whatever. A lot of people say that. But what I just want to talk about here is not all of that. What I want to talk about is, this man has actually stepped the boundaries of basic principles of life. The basic principles of life would be, there are things that no matter how tempted, no matter how lured, no matter how sleepy, foolish, no matter how, drowned in whatever you want to do, you are at that particular point. The basic principles of life brings you to a common ground of reasonable thought and logic. And these basic principles are these. 1, you don't sleep with your brother's wife. That's a big no. That basic principle of life was broken by this man so heavily. And that's why I feel some of those finger pointing and those people judging him will probably have a point. Although I don't believe in people judging anyone. He needs help. That's what this young man needs. He needs help. That's one basic principle of life he broke. Secondly, this man slept with his cousin, allegedly, because everything that has happened in these 400 videos that we've watched is classified as allegedly. Because who knows, maybe those videos were generated by AI generated, who knows. So allegedly, let's just keep it allegedly. With the volume of those videos out there, a lot of people have watched a lot. I couldn't watch much because I got to a point where I saw someone drinking his pee and I couldn't. And I was like, no, this is crazy. You know, very disgusting sins, very, very disgusting sins. You don't sleep with your cousin. That's a basic principle of life. Not just morals, not just religiously. It doesn't add up when you sleep with your cousin. And that's what I'm saying. Instead of pointing hands at this man, instead of judging this young man, we need to look for help. The third basic principle of life that this man actually broke is sleeping with his uncle's pregnant wife. Not only sleeping with his uncle's wife, the wife is pregnant. Do you understand what I'm saying? Those basic principles of life are areas where you have to think, and the only outcome that comes from that thinking is a no. It's not something you should do. This is not something you should do. It doesn't make sense today. So, to show you how this man wields a lot of power and this man fears no one, to also show you how this man broke every rule in the book, this man had to go and sleep with the wife of the number one policeman in the country. Something we liken to be like the Inspector General of Police. I'm looking at him severally because I just want to understand if I can just go into his brain and see exactly what is. That's why I'm just looking at him like, see, a lot of ladies have said this man looks very charming. He looks very handsome. He looks like someone who actually has his way with women. Not necessarily money. This man looks like someone that can actually, win a woman like easily. But coupled with the fact that he has a lot of money and coupled with the fact that, he has a lot of power and authority, he could actually do and undo. We don't know what probably may have happened, transpired between him and all of these women. We could have some form of blackmail also in some of those sex escapades. Because if you look at through those videos, one of the video actually saw a reluctance in what one of the ladies was actually doing. Now, I don't know if it's the recording that was making her feel very reluctant in that. And, or maybe she felt some form of guilt, but I could just feel some reluctance. She was into it. Normally, sex will actually get to a point where whether you like it or you don't like it, sex sometimes can just make you just be acting and all that. She had some form of a drawback, So you don't know if this guy has a lot of information with these ladies, a lot of information about these ladies. And some of them have no any other choice than just to give in to whatever he wanted. How would you have about 400 women, if not more, allowing their sexual experiences with this man to be video recorded? It doesn't sound normal. It sounds like something that, even though they look like they enjoyed what was happening in the video, at the same time, they look like there was something behind, whatever was making them do what they were doing. As if this man has a lot about them. Just like my friend VDM. VDM has a lot of information about people, that he doesn't go looking for your trouble, but if you start, he brings it out with a lot of evidence. Sometimes I feel this man has a lot of evidence behind all these things he's doing. But who are we to judge? Who are we to say a lot of things when we don't know? The essence of this video is to tell you about some of these things that this man has done that has broken a lot of codes, basic principles of life. Would be sleeping with relatives, sleeping with, cousins, sleeping with, and all of that, even going as far as sleeping with colleagues at his office, making his office a place where all of these things were actually executed. A lot of codes were actually broken. And that's where he failed. So this takes me to a next level of thoughts. And I was just thinking that in Africa, a lot of people behave like this because of the level of power they wield, because of the amount of money they have. And that's why I keep saying it. Africa will never change unless the foundation of this thing is broken, where there is no accountability, where there is so much corruption. And few people have actually embezzled a lot of money. And that's why some of these persons can behave like this. I want to find it very hard to believe that an average Equatorial Guinean will do this, will have the powers to do this. An average Equatorial Guinea man who has no funds, who has no powers, who wills nothing, will be able to do this. Okay? I want to find it very hard to believe that. Corruption. A lot of people have not been caught right now. And that's why they are pointing fingers at this man. And that's why they are judging this man so badly. So rather than pointing fingers and judging this young man, let's just try to support him in prayers. That's all I can say. So that's my 2 cents about it. If you have any contribution to what we just discussed here, as to why you think Mr. Baltasar Ebang lives his life this way, and all of those things that have actually transpired in all the videos that we saw him allegedly display some sexual prowess there, just leave your comments in the comment section. And also, if you're new here, please, we just want to urge you to join the Equatorial family. Please subscribe to the channel, leave your likes and share the video, and it will go a long way to help in Epic Tube. I'll see you next week. Twali.